Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, man. And today we will be reacting to Riding the School Bus Was Insane. Video by Cheats. Man, listen, man. I rode the school bus a few times in my years. I rode the school bus a few times in my youth, right? Most other times I would either just get dropped to school by my mom, or when I didn't live with her and I lived with my sister, I would walk, or her husband would come pick me up or something along those lines. But yeah, I can vividly remember a few times riding the school bus where things got a little bit out of hand. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, right? If you put a bunch of youths, right, hormonal teens of the and such, right, and younger, maybe older, into this cramped little yellow bus and just expect them to be on their best behavior, they're out of your mind, bro. There was people smoking in the bus, there was people fighting in the bus, there was people getting it on in the bus. If you know, you know. Like, come on, bro. Which is a lot of times, if my choices were to catch the bus or walk home, if my entire group of friends, or at least the ones that didn't have their parents coming to get them, wasn't taking the bus, neither was I, bro. I was choosing to walk home, even if it means walking by myself. What are we talking about? Anyway, let's just get straight into this video by Cheats, man. See what that boy talking about. Where's my mouse?
The school bus. It's
Yes,
not
sir.
just transportation. It's a test of patience, endurance, and occasionally your sense of smell. Everyone's got stories, and everyone remembers the cast of characters you'd only find on the yellow prison on wheels. Today we're
Facts.
diving into the chaotic, loud, and downright bizarre world of this school bus. From the moment those doors swing open, you're greeted with that all too familiar smell. A mix of old gym socks, crusty lunches, and something else that would make you question if the bus has ever been fucking cleaned. You walk down that narrow aisle and you're immediately faced with the daily dilemma. Where to sit? It's not just about a seat, it's about survival.
If you don't plant your stank booty ass somewhere towards the back of that bus where you have an entire view of everything that's about to transpire, you're riding the bus wrong, bro.
He ain't lying.
If you're one of those people who sit all the way up to the front, you were definitely a teacher's pet. I don't care what nobody say. You were definitely a teacher's pet, bro. If you're somewhere in the middle, then you were just okay. You were just there. You didn't really care to be all the way in the back, but you didn't want to sit all the way in the front. So you were just there. No, you can't really have a problem with that. If you sat to the back, you were one of three people, in my opinion, right? A troublemaker, right? A spectator. I was a spectator. Or an instigator, bro. Listen, you were one of those three people. The troublemakers would always get instigated by the instigator, and the spectator would just be there watching the whole thing transpire and not doing jack shit about it. Goodness gracious, good times.
You got the wrong seat, you end up sitting next to the wrong person, and that wrong person can just ruin your day before it's even started. Whether that would be smelling horrible, like, they didn't shower, they smell like shit, music that's playing way too loud, they're arguing with someone and you have to overhear their conversation, or in my case, this is a real photo taken from me back when I was in high school on the school bus. I would wake up and I went on the bus one day, and there was this guy sitting in front of me, and he had this greasy ass man bun that extended from his seat over to mine. So I was facing his man bun the entire morning, and I don't know how to navigate that circumstance. What do I gotta like touch it, get it out of my face? But then that's like, well, he's
Bro,
like, why
you take a scissors and snip, you feel me?
are you touching me? It's like, oh, I don't want to start shit. And this was an extra big problem because I would often lean into the seat in front of me to sleep. Not very comfortable, but when you're waking up at 6 a.m. on 2 hours of nothing, no sleep because you've been up studying and like a Red Bull, then yeah, you're gonna, like, your body's gonna make yourself fall asleep. In the back, it's pure anarchy. This is where the loudest kid kids reign supreme, blasting their music so loud you can hear it 3 seats away, even with your own earbuds in. And it's 7 a.m., 6 a.m. at this point, you hate it. And it's also usually the worst music imaginable, like shit you hear all the time, but he's still playing it for some reason. It's that NPC music that you've become hateful of because it's, you hear it everywhere. They specifically curate a playlist to make your ears bleed at 7 a.m. It's just too early for this, but apparently that guy didn't get the memo. Although that's annoying, it's still relatively normal behavior. Playing music is a normal human thing. What is not normal is something that I experienced back in elementary school, was a child on the bus would repeatedly bang his head against the seat in front of him for no reason at all. Now, you might be asking, is this guy...
He was trying...
On the spectrum, is he...
I'm hitting everything right now. That kid is the one trying to get out of it, bro. He is on his way out, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Like, you gotta watch for him, bro. Because something's going on at home with bro that he is just pushing him to his limits, bro. I don't know how better to say that. Something is pushing bro to the limits, and he is on the verge of a crash out, bro. Leave him alone.
The autistic? What made him do this, right? No. Literally, he would bang his head against the seat in front of him. No explanation, no context, just pure unfiltered weirdness. You'd think he's listening to heavy metal or something. He's just in his own world, thudding away like he's participating in Morse code with his forehead. It wasn't the entire bus ride either. It would just happen kind of randomly. It was like physical Tourette's almost. Don't know. Not a doctor. Kid was weird. All right, now back to some more normal behavior that's also coincidentally insufferable. We have the teacher's pet and the bus driver's best friend.
What I tell you,
Conversation with the driver like they're on a podcast.
Right up front, too.
Just to chirp with the bus driver. And honestly, like, I don't even hate
I'm telling you, bro. I've lived life.
these people. I think teacher's pet is different. I think bus driver's pet is necessary. We don't want the driver crashing out, literally, I guess. But hey, these people rizz up the bus drivers. What they do is they sit up in front. They talk about anything from last night's homework to the bus driver's personal life, his plans for the weekend, all that stuff. Only problem is when that kid gets preferential treatment in whatever form that can exist on the bus. I don't know if y'all ever had that. I personally didn't, but there was, in some cases, I know people were forced to swap seats, and there was like assigned seating and stuff on some buses. And I think if you were the bus driver's best friend, you could probably bend the rules a little bit when it came to that sort of stuff. But more common, we got the sleeper. Now, that was me. I was the sleeper, but the type, head sleeper, pressed against the window, mouth wide open, completely zonked out despite the noise and chaos. They master the art of ignoring the world, catching Z's in positions that divide both logic and comfort. Bus hits a pothole or straight up rear ends somebody, they don't flinch. They are still out cold. You kind of almost admire their commitment to unconsciousness. It's beautiful. Only problem is that sometimes they literally fall asleep past their stop if it's like on the way home after school. That's happened to me a few times where I have to be like woken up by the bus driver. He's like, wake up. I'm like, my fault, man. I'll try to catch up on some sleep. And I never did. Never caught up on that sleep.
The numbers. What are they saying?
Alright, bro. Come on, man.
Reznov! Where are you? Reznov!
I'm sure there's going to be some stories in the comments of kids who slept through the bus and they weren't found in time. So after everyone got off at school, the kid was still there back at the bus driver wherever they keep the buses. If that happened to you, let me know. We also got the seat hoggers who act like they paid for first class tickets. They spread their bags, jackets, legs, random items across the...
I would ask you to move it once nicely. Right? After that, if you don't, I'm moving it myself, bro.
He's right,
You don't, especially if there's no other seat. Move your shit over. I already have to ride this stank ass bus with y'all dirty booty ass niggas who don't wash y'all ass properly, bro. Do not piss me off by trying to fucking make me stand. Are you out of your mind? I was a small kid back in school too. Short and skinny. Did not matter to me, bro. I did not care how big you were. If you started, if it was problems, it was problems. Simple as that. If we're gonna have problems, we're gonna have problems, bro. But you're gonna move that fucking bag so I can sit, bro.
He ain't lying.
I'm not in the mood for this. It's after school. I want to go home. I'm probably hungry. I got homework to do that I don't want to do, that I'm probably not going to do until the freaking next morning. I just want to go home, bro. I want to shower. I want to relax. Move the bag. and it was never a problem. I've never gotten in a bus fight,
seats
bro.
like they're claiming territory. If you ask if you can sit, they give you a look that, like, you know, you just ask for their SSN or something. It's the school bus, not a VIP lounge. Relax. It seems like the middle of the bus was the most normal spot. You really just had guys trying to get by, you know, stay out the way. You know why they got sidewalks, right? Because the streets ain't for everyone. These guys would walk on the sidewalk. They're just normal people. They're not too close to the chaos of the back, but far enough from the front to avoid the cringeworthy driver chats. They're in the neutral zone, where the socially awkward and semi-normal coexist in a relative peace. But don't get too comfortable. There's always a risk of catching a stray comment or some shit talking from the back.
You don't think it's weird to fuck 16-year-olds?
It's weird, but they're so hard.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up with your feminism. Yeah, come here. Come
Hey,
here. That's what you need.
Of course, I gotta mention the bus driver themselves. You know, some days they're driving like they got a death wish, hitting every fucking pothole, like they're going for extra points. Other days they're cruising so slow you'd swear they're sightseeing, you know, trying to not get you home as soon as possible. That's the worst, when in the morning they get to school extra quick, and when they're taking you home, they are extra slow. You're either holding on for your dear life or wondering when you're gonna need to walk the last mile. They're unfazed by everything from the fights to the loud music, to the kid who's having a meltdown in the front seat. You know, they've seen it all and they've clocked out mentally long before you even got on. Really years before you even got on. They've been doing this oftentimes for a while. They say it's not their first rodeo. And then on the ride home, you know, it's at that point everyone's wound up from the day. That weird smell has intensified and the bus has turned into a rolling zoo. The same chaos just turned up a notch. And in the summer, forget it. The bus becomes a sauna on wheels. The windows barely open, everyone's sweating like they're on the sun, and you've cranked.
Bro, and there was no freaking air condition in those buses, bro. Why are you trying to make people go to school smelling like a 10-pack of ass? First thing in the morning, I just showered. I just put on deodorant, but I sweat it all out because this bus is cooking me alive. Why is that a thing? Put air conditioning on these buses, bro. If you're gonna have students going back and forth on these freaking bus, put air conditioning on this bus. There's no reason why niggas would be coming to school with freaking armpit puddles at 9 in the morning. What are we talking about? Niggas that come to school smelling like they just finished a 3-hour gym session, bro. A straight intense workout, no breaks in between. Why? Niggas have to come to school in the morning and then go to the freaking showers in the gym, clean up, and then reapply everything, but they're still gonna stink because they didn't bring an extra pair of uniform, bro. Oh, and another thing on that same freaking topic of stinking. Why is it an option for a freaking school to allow a class of students to have gym first thing in the morning? That's like your first 2 periods. Why is that a thing that's allowed? That should not be a thing that is allowed. Now, I want y'all to understand something, all right? Like, when I was in high school, I think it was either my first period or second period that I had a gym class on. I can't remember the date. Right, but it was sometime smack dab in the middle of the week. I was not the kind of kid to bring a whole extra spare uniform, right? And at the same time, because of circumstances, right, I was not about to bring all my freaking like hygiene stuff to school, bro. What are we talking about? No. So I never used those freaking communal showers at the freaking school gym because all the niggas in my freaking class would, well, not all of them, right? But a lot of them were just freaking weirdos and punk asses, all right? I was going to say something else, but I'm going to leave that alone. They would not give a nigga some peace, bro. If you wanted to take a shower after gym class, these niggas would not, bro. They would always be up in there, and it stank of Axe body spray, bro. Holy hell. Like, I don't know what it was about high school, but it's something about the Axe body spray, bro. It had us in a chokehold. But I digress. You could not get a moment's peace in the shower by yourself to clean off all that sweat and stank. So you had to go through the entire day smelling like nothing but Axe and BO, bro. That is not a good combination. Especially when you had a shorty you were trying to chat up. Unless the bitches was into that kind of stuff, bro. I don't know. If y'all was into niggas who just smell like BO and Axe body spray all the time when we were in high school, cool. I don't care. But I did not like it. I was not fucking with it, bro. I really wasn't. I hated it, to be honest with you. That was like one of my biggest gripes with school, is the fact that they made me do gym first thing in the morning, and then I could not, and then I stank for the rest of the day. Man, listen, man.
Crammed in with 40 other kids trying to survive the ride home in like 100-degree heat. It's a miracle that any of us ever made it. Who else do we got? Who did I not mention? Oh, the hot Cheeto girl, obviously. I mean, that's more of a person you encounter in school, but oh yeah, she's on the bus for sure. Her parents are not driving her to school, bro. You think they want to deal with that shit? Hot Cheeto girl's munching away at 7 a.m. Her breakfast consists of flaming hot Cheetos, and it's somehow the crunching in her mouth is louder than the shit that the dude's playing on the speaker in the back. But even worse than that is the comments that she makes, like, oh, period. And it's like, bro, we haven't even started first. Why are you talking about period? These girls are very loud. They're very annoying. It's like she's fueling up for the day on pure MSG and artificial coloring, leaving behind those iconic red fingerprints on everything she touches. It's great. It's awesome. I love going to a seat knowing immediately who it was occupied by before me. You also had like random fights that would break out on the bus. Those were amazing when, you know, people would start yelling at each other and it would escalate into a fight. Bro, how are you gonna fight on the bus, man? Like, at least wait till you're like not on the bus.
Oh, boy.
I could have worded that better, but you get the idea. It's like, what the hell are we doing? Like, bro, get to school before you fight. And then I think for the most part, the rest of the people on the bus were pretty normal, but yeah, it smelled bad, bad people, but you know, some normal people on there. Yeah, so that's.
Man, listen, man. There was nobody that was normal on the bus, bro. You were either just out of the way annoying, or you were just calm. You know what I mean? None of us were normal. We're all riding the bus. We all hate life because we have to be to school. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that, like riding the bus specifically, but it's just not a good breeding ground for students. I don't know why I still have my headphones on. Anyway, that'll be it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will catch y'all in the next one.